stopped in your tracks and you see something that literally just makes you pause.
For me, it's just me forgetting about me, I think is how I would describe it.
God, isn't it beautiful?
It's so pretty. It's like the most beautiful thing.
You lose yourself in that moment in time, and you just feel like you're part of something amazing.
I think we found it. Hey, high five. Woo!
Is the feeling of awe. Almost like intangible, wordless joy. It's so much that we can't express.
I've been studying happiness for 20 years, and it turns out it's simple. Find awe.
My name is Julia Baird. I'm a writer and broadcaster, and more recently, a very deliberate awe hunter. In 2015, my world went very dark. I found a big lump in my stomach, which turned out to be cancer.
Once you start grappling with your own mortality, you get a different sense of perspective. But in the middle of horror and grief and all kinds of things we go through, your world narrows, I think, to a slit, and to your friends, to your family, there's a physical recovery, there is a mental recovery, and then there was something else, there was another thing. And I think that what made me strong and got me through in ways I couldn't even necessarily describe was exposing myself to awe and was exposing myself to wonder. It made me really aware that I should be not just kind of gathering like beautiful things every now and then and having these interesting experiences, but really deliberately stitching awe into my daily life, in hunting it.
Before I got sick, I discovered a local swimming group that met the same time, every day, no matter the temperature, no matter the conditions.
The sun was rising and you would just force yourself in the water, and at the end of it, you would feel so happy. It's this strange kind of thing, like what that can do, both the cold water and the camaraderie. But also something else, seeing this beauty. It was lifting me through my days in a way that I came to give me an urgency about the need to do this and the need to talk to my kids about it. And the need to have a different kind of life where I just didn't take the natural world or moments of awe for granted.
After a lengthy recovery, I'm back in the place where I feel an inner light is stoked. As I began exploring awe and wonder for my last book, I discovered there was a whole realm of research on awe and how it can make us happier and less selfish humans.
Today, we define awe as an emotion that you feel when you encounter things that are vast, beyond your current understanding of the world, and that are mysterious. They're big mysteries.
Dacher Keltner from the University of California in Berkeley is a psychologist who's basically the godfather of awe.
Why are humans so hungry for awe?
And as we've always been hungry for awe as a species, humans have been creating ways to find awe in nature and music and, visual cave paintings and dance and celebration and spirituality for tens of thousands of years. So it's this fundamental emotion that we have. But I think, Julia, right now it's really acute. We surveyed people from 26 different countries, stories of awe from around the world, and not a single person worldwide mentioned a screen or a technological device like the smartphone. Real experiences of awe are out in real life, out in nature, with other people.
So I'm on my way to meet an old friend of mine. She's a marine scientist, and we share a real passion for everything that glows.
Dr. Lisa Ann Gershwin and her faithful sidekick Tui have a road trip planned to take me on the hunt for some elusive phenomena.
Gershwin. Hey, buddy.
You've come at the best time.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
Oh my
all
God.
the glow, all the awe. It's
what?
all happening.
Like what?
The Aurora, bioluminescence, ghost mushrooms, fluorescent marsupials, they're all over the place. It's all happening.
Hey, I love your car.
Oh, thank
All
you.
right.
So this is Tabasco.
Yeah.
So named because he's hot and red and a little bit saucy.
Perfect.
Lisa has an infectious capacity for wonder.
You know, I've thought a lot about this. I think it's because when we're children, we all want to believe in magic.
Yeah.
And then we grow up and we discover that it's not real. But this is real.
Yeah.
I think, like every child, I was absolutely mesmerized by things that glow in the dark. I was the kid that had, the stars on the bedroom ceiling and, just the idea of things that glow. I've been autistic my whole life. I just didn't know it until I was 46. Oh, well, I knew something was different. That part was always obvious. One of the most wonderful parts of being autistic is this deep fascination. We have this ability to just dive into something and just like swim in that, sea of wonder for a long time. It's a great place to be.
First stop on our ore hunt is Bunurong Wildlife Park.
Yeah.
Armed with UV torches, Lisa's showing me these animals in a whole new light.
Look at that.
Hi, Fred.
He's like lit from inside.
Yeah.
Under UV light, some animals fluoresce brilliant colours.
So it's actually been known for decades, but it was only known in a really narrow part of the scientific community. And so it's only since 2019 that it's just gone, whew, and now, scientists and citizen scientists and just normal people who are curious, turning them on things and going, whoa, look at that spider, look at that flower, look at that bettong, And
Lisa has a knack of looking at things differently. Showing me the everyday is often the extraordinary.
Glowing in colors that just boggle the mind. It is literally seeing things in a different light.
Next, we're on the hunt for bioluminescent plankton, something I've been obsessed with for years. These are tiny living organisms that produce their own glowing light.
You go ahead, just spritz around like that, and hopefully we'll see blue.
Okay. That's a no.
I'm not seeing it.
No.
But here, it's a no-show. There's a Facebook group dedicated to spotting bioluminescence in Tassie, and Lisa's calling the admin for help.
We had a sighting mentioned in group probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago of a small amount at Simmons Park.
Ah, you beaut. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're off and running. I'll let you know how we go.
Location 2. Armed with our intel, there's been bioluminescence spotted here.
So,
Is this supposed to be wet?
well, I think so. I'm ready. I'm feeling lucky. Go for it.
Okay. Oh my God! There it is.
Mate, we found it. Oh my God, we found bioluminescence. How cool is this?
unbelievable.
I think he should go in.
Why not? Okay, like this one. And then
Oh.
that's pretty good. And
Oh, Julia, this is amazing. Look at this.
I love how it looks like the stars.
We're just getting a glimmer of what bioluminescence can be like tonight. When it's really blooming, it puts on a spectacular show. This incredible liquid light is the result of tiny living organisms which luminesce when they get jostled together.
So, Julia, do you remember the first time we went looking for bioluminescence? Yeah. And you said something to me that I've never forgotten. It was so lovely. You said that it was almost unbearably beautiful. Even its scientific name, its Latin name, Noctiluca, nocta, night, luca, light, scintillans, scintillating, sparkling, glittering.
That's
the
amazing.
sparkling nightlight.
Oh my gosh, I'd never thought of it before.
Even its scientific name is magical.
Not far away, Tassie's Huon Valley is home to some of the world's largest trees.
Snake habitat, I don't think the snakes will be out today, but always worth being aware.
Steve Pearce is a fellow ore hunter.
Job. So are you going to carry your own one in?
He and his crew are giant tree climbers.
But is anyone else taking any first aid kits?
They've been
down?
camping out in sub-zero temperatures to get an early start and make it up a tree
Down at the base of
they
the tree,
call
obviously
Lathamus
helmets are
Keep.
going to be a must-have today for sure.
The
It's
plan
always
is to
great
climb
for
the
everyone to
80-metre giant, a task not to be taken lightly. This is state-owned forest, and some of this area has already been logged. Here, trees are up to 500 years old, and Steve and his crew have named the area the Grove of Giants.
What we have just here is our first really good view of Lathamus Keep. This is the champion blue gum for size. Lathamus is a giant tree by volume. It's 325 cubic metres, which puts it in the top 1% of trees worldwide. I think the overall thing to remember about today is like this is a really big tree.
Steve began to fall in love with these trees when his wife's PhD led them into the canopy.
I just realised that there was like this whole entire space or world, if you want, that's only 10 or 15 metres above where we usually exist that is completely different. Again, our experience is always this two-dimensional level of the forest, and so to get 5 metres up into one of these trees is surreal because it's just not something you never do. And then to go 70 metres, 80 metres up is just like mind-blowing.
Tilly is heading up the tree with Steve today. And despite having done it before, she still gets scared.
Yeah, every single time I feel massive nerves and a deep sense of gratitude for the ground. Yeah, it's makes you feel alive.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Go, Tilly. Nice work, Tilly. In those moments of fear, it's really that's when the real experience kind of happens, and it's not an adrenaline sport for sure, but through that fear, your brain is fully electrified. It's really hard not to just be really appreciative of that space. What's in here? Check
A deep rotten chasm.
Is that a bird egg?
No, really?
Yeah. I thought it was a little fungus. Oh.
Oh, guys, there's legit a bird egg up here.
When you're climbing and actually physically climbing, it's just all appreciation. So, like, fear might be this gateway that allows you to really appreciate something on, like, a really intense level. You can come into this space and just realise that all your ego, all your Instagram followers and all this whatever doesn't matter. It's like, I am like this puny bag of water suspended by this little tiny rope in amongst this gigantic living organism.
You know, when you go out by big trees, when you see big views, when you listen to inspiring music, it tends to kind of quiet down the ego. It makes yourself seem small, your concerns seem small, your stresses seem less significant. So it's today a lot of young people and a lot of people in general are focusing too much on the self, and awe takes us out of that focus, gets us to open our eyes to the world outside of us.
We often feel our insignificance most acutely when faced with the enormity of our universe.
So for the first time, because we're in Milky Way season right now, we can actually see the Milky Way, which won't be the case in summer.
Tonight, a group of ore hunters have joined astrophysicist Dimitri on a stargazing tour.
When people look through the telescope for the first time, it's oftentimes very emotional. There's reactions of awe and joy, sometimes surprise. We had people come close to tears seeing a cluster for the first time that was 6,000 light years away.
It's not just the view that triggers these profound emotions, but also conceptual vastness, mind-blowing ideas like infinity and time.
I actually can't comprehend the fact that they were around when the universe was created, all the different galaxies, everything. It's amazing. I have no words. I can't comprehend it. It's so cool.
I think it reminds us that there's still so much that we don't know about the world and so much unexplored sort of areas of science, and I think what was magic once was now sort of science, and I love that. When I look at the stars, I think, what are we yet to know?
A lot of people come here to see the sky, and whatever meaning they attribute to that experience, that is the spiritual component. As soon as we get out of the realm of science, we are into the realm of spirituality and meaning-making.
Now, you might be thinking, sure, all of this sounds great if you're an ocean swimmer or an astronomer or you like to climb massive trees. But researchers say you can find awe every day. It's all around you, and all you have to do is look for it.
It's called an awe walk.
A lot of great traditions, ethical traditions, spiritual traditions, begin with people going out and walking. And all you have to do is, when you start walking, you find your breath, you sync it up with your footsteps, so you're starting to get into a good mindful rhythm.
If you were in a city, you could pay attention to architecture or the light reflected in a fountain. Soaring buildings, a talented busker. Notice the multitude of sights, sounds, smells, and other sensations that are dancing through your awareness, usually undetected.
Look at really small things and then pan out and look at big things, almost like the overview effect. Like, wow, look at this one leaf of this tree, and then look at all the leaves and the pattern that they make. And that's a pretty reliable way to find awe.
You know what? There's an aurora alert going on right now.
Oh.
Back on the road, and we're hoping to get lucky again. This is what we're looking for, the Aurora Australis, also known as the Southern Lights, a phenomena caused by high-energy particles from the sun cascading down on Earth.
When we get an aurora, more often than not, we do struggle to see it with the naked eye. I'm managing your expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we may not see it at all.
Yeah.
The thrill of the hunt is that we never know if we're going to see it.
Right.
And to me, that's part of why it's so special.
It's pitch dark, it's freezing and cloudy, not ideal, but in the curl of the waves, we spot some bioluminescence.
Oh, look at that one. That's a good one, yeah.
However, we're here for the aurora, which is often impossible to see without a long exposure camera.
It'll catch everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this sky. I can see some stars, but I can also see some clouds.
Right.
So
It's just started
here's
to
what I
rain.
propose.
Yeah.
I suggest we do an aurora dance to appease the aurora gods.
Right.
And then we take one more photo and we give it a try.
Sure, I'm wearing the right shoes for
Yep,
it. So,
all right, come on. Come on, Aurora.
Okay.
Woo, Aurora.
Okay, so wait, instead of jazz hands, it's Aurora hands.
We need the Aurora. Woo! Okay, what do you reckon?
Yeah, if
Feeling
anything's
lucky?
going to bring it on, it's that.
All right,
Okay.
all right, you do the honors. See, that's the thing about the timed exposure, it'll catch everything.
Yeah.
Oh! This is an aurora right here, Julia. You are seeing your first aurora, okay?
Oh my God.
That is the aurora right there in the sky. What?
This is called a diffuse aurora.
What we're seeing, where that's light orange in the sky,
Right.
it's like light pollution.
Right.
We're looking to the south, and there's nothing south of us here except Antarctica.
We totally lost ourselves in that moment. For me, along with the bioluminescence and the stars, it was pure magic.
Brief experiences of awe open your eyes to what we call meaning in psychology, which is like the core thing that you care about in life, right? Like maybe you care about preserving the environment or bringing justice to the world or painting beautiful things. Awe makes you realize what you really care about. And that's transformative, right? It shifts us out of this very narrow view of ourselves to an expanded, transformed sense of who we are.
Steve is living proof of this. When he fell in love with these trees, he felt the need to protect them.
There's been many sleepless nights, and I don't worry about much in life, but having known this place so well and become so familiar with it in so many different ways, I worried about it a lot.
As a photographer, he decided to try and photograph their enormity to show the world they were here. He and his team also decided to start taking members of the public into the forest and up these giant trees.
No, you're in free space, not the dangle.
No previous experience required.
It was kind of like this journey that wasn't a choice. Be able to share that experience with someone who's right beside you, it's incredible. I don't know, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. I believe that I've experienced something that's so life-changing that all you have to do is put an individual up there and a great effect will take place. So why not get as many people up there as you can to affect that change in them, and hopefully as they go out back into the community, they can talk about it with their friends and more people become interested in the forest. Alrighty, mate, you are free to go.
Thank
Congratulations,
you.
the
Best
latest
thing I've ever
Argonaut.
A band of green, we get the band of pink.
Lisa has also felt compelled to share her wonder.
Magical. That's the thing.
She runs the Hobart Glow Show, where she teaches people how to go out and find things that light up in the dark themselves.
Each of those little tiny dots. I think we all want an escape. We need an escape. I need an escape. I mean, awe has this full body experience that stops you in your tracks and just makes you go, ah. And what better escape than awe?
This is the best part of my day. It's so worth it. It's like never not worth it. You never regret it. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful.
You come out, it's like you're stripped brand new again, and you just feel alive and electric, and you can't stop smiling. That's why we do it. So nothing better.
The people on this journey come from all walks of life, with all the usual stress, grief, and joy of their individual lives. But we have one thing in common. We are all awe hunters.
Sometimes life can be so hard, you have to work out like what it is that makes you strong and go and do it, and then do it again and do it again. Yeah.